we are learning more about the hack into the Democratic National Committee, including indications for the first time that the breach went beyond the official accounts of DNC staffers and included personal email accounts as well. Michael Isikoff broke this story for Yahoo News, and he joins me now, as well as CBS News senior political editor Steve Shigar. Michael, I read your story. Incredible reporting. Tell us what you found out.
Well, there was a DNC staffer, Alexandra Chalupa, who was specifically doing research on Paul Manafort, the Donald Trump campaign chairman, and looking into his business and political ties with pro-Russian figures in Ukraine and Russia. Manafort had represented, it was a political consultant to Yanukovych, the pro-Putin president of Ukraine, who's since been ousted. He formed business arrangements with various pro-Putin oligarchs, and this Democratic Party staffer, Chalupa, was specifically researching that, reaching out to sources in the Ukraine, including investigative journalists, to gather intelligence. This is classic Oppo research that both parties do. What was sort of creepy here is that as she was doing this and preparing emails and writing memos on this, she suddenly gets an alert on her personal email account, her Yahoo email account, stating from the Yahoo security team, we have information that your personal email has been targeted by state-sponsored actors. State-sponsored actors, not a normal,
not a normal hacker, not an activist or a state-sponsored.
Right, and I write for Yahoo News, but I reached out to Yahoo Corporate's security team on this, and they had a policy that they instituted just some months ago that when they see something serious like this, they will notify the customer, and they say they only do so when there is very strong evidence of state sponsorship. So you put that together with what we now know was going on with the hack of the DNC and the hack of DNC emails, and it raises a lot of troubling questions here that the breach and the attack was not just official accounts, but personal email accounts of at least one Democratic Party staffer who was doing some pretty sensitive research.
And Steve, clearly what a lot of people are inferring is that because Donald Trump in the past has made some pro-Putin comments, that this is a way to somehow influence the election here in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to react to that other than the question I have is, have we ruled out that Russia has been or has not been trying to hack into RNC and Donald Trump emails? And if that hasn't been ruled out, I mean, these people spy on a lot of people. They're trying to get information about our elections, our government, and I don't know how you can make that inference without ruling the other thing out. So I guess that's a question.
I would say a couple of things. First of all, we have yet to see any evidence of any attack on the Trump campaign or the RNC. I've certainly asked that question of the RNC, and they have not indicated anything to suggest that they were attacked. But look, here's what's distinctive about what we're learning about the hack of the DNC. It is not unprecedented for foreign governments to do cyber attacks on American political campaigns. If you remember, 2008 campaign, it happened to both. The Obama campaign and the McCain campaign by the Chinese. And they didn't say that at the time. The government didn't say that at the time, but I reported it back in 2013 that they had that U.S. intelligence had definitely attributed that to Chinese hackers and Chinese state-sponsored hackers. What's different about this is it's not just collecting intelligence because, as we've seen, they are now being dumped through WikiLeaks into the public domain and causing a huge ruckus here in the Democratic Party. So there's reason to believe this goes well beyond what the Chinese did and has had already a disruptive impact on the American political campaign.
I guess my question is how come the DNC didn't learn the lessons of 2008 and up security?
Yeah,
I mean, It seems as if this is not something that we haven't seen before. It's not something we should say, okay, it's all done, they're not going to do it anymore. I mean, it's pretty clear that there's security problems with DNC. Do we know that, again, on the RNC side, have they upped their security in recent years or not?
I think everybody has made efforts to up their security, but as we've learned time and again, sophisticated cyber actors have very good ways of going beyond security, and we've seen that in cyber intrusions throughout the U.S. government. You remember OPM, you certainly remember Sony, corporate America. I mean, these sorts of things happen. It's part of our life these days. It's part of the way the world works. But it is particularly concerning, I think, when and if it turns out that this is a targeted attempt, not just to collect intelligence, but to influence the campaign.
Yeah. And Steve, how will the DNC talk about this? I mean, in a way, will they try to politicize this? And
well, you've already seen the campaign manager for Hillary Clinton's campaign already basically say they're in bed with the Trump campaign, and this is all connected to the Trump campaign.
And Paul Manafort has dismissed that as absurd and crazy, and there's no evidence of it. The U.S. government has not yet officially proclaimed this to be a Russian cyber attack. I think there are people in the Democratic Party. FBI is investigating. They confirmed that today, that they're investigating. But I just want to say one more point on this, that the Democrats are a little bit in a bind on pushing the Russian connection too far because they don't know what else the hackers got. And there have been hints from Julian Assange of WikiLeaks, who's been dumping these emails, that he's got more damaging stuff to come, particularly on Hillary Clinton, that he may have. He's suggested he's got Hillary Clinton emails. And if, in fact, the Russians got into that private email server in Chappaqua, New York, and Julian Assange has them and starts dumping them in October, it would be proof positive that that private server had been hacked by a foreign adversary. We don't know that happened. All that James Comey, this FBI director, said is he believes it's possible it happened. But if the Democrats talk too much about this Russian connection and then those emails get dumped, it could be something they will have a hard time explaining.
But Comey said they didn't find any evidence of that happening, right?
Which he said because of the nature, he said they could not be dispositive one way or the other. But he did make a point of saying he thought it was possible. Yeah.
Right. So it'll be really interesting to see if the FBI digs up here.
Exactly right. And Michael, just incredible reporting. Really fascinating. I mean, I don't think anybody really understood how extensive this hacking was until you started to report this out a little bit more. Thank you so much for coming on with CBSN Chief Investigative Correspondent for Yahoo News, Michael Isikoff. We thank you. And Steve Shigaris, as always, thank you, my friend.